I'm just gonna get some stuff together real quick. Oh, hold on. All right. Hello. Hey, babe. All right, so there's a couple of y'all on here. I think everybody else can catch the replay. I feel weird just to sit here and wait. Okay, so a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I heard about the no poo method, which is basically no shampoo, okay? Sounds crazy, but I have very fine, thin hair, and it would get super oily really quick, and I had to wash it every single day. Which is what it is, right? I mean, like, who cares, right? Like, most people wash their hair every day, no big deal. But I'm telling you, like, my hair would get so greasy if it didn't get washed. So I had heard about this no poo method. Well, let me go back. Not only would my hair get greasy, as I got older, I started to notice a lot of changes in my hair. One of the biggest things that started happening was I was losing hair. And I'm not talking about like shedding. I'm talking about like handfuls of hair. Like my hairline was like completely bare, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And you know, kind of like when we chatted about my hormones, same thing. I'm a fixer. It's in my personality. Like, I'm gonna find a solution to the problem, okay? So I heard about the no poo method, and not only was it supposed to reset your oil production in your hair, it was supposed to give you healthier hair and help you regrow hair. So the whole thing sounded sort of like hippy dippy, but I mean, what do you have to lose, really, right? So that was my thing. Like, if I try it and it works, great. If I try it and it doesn't work, like, I haven't lost anything. But best case scenario, it would change my hair, okay? So the theory is that all the chemicals that we put onto our scalp and onto our hair are stripping its hair of its natural oils, and are causing our scalp to overproduce the oils, the sebum production, okay? So it just goes crazy, which is why every day you like strip it off and then it would come back like with a vengeance, like super oily, super greasy hair. So I did my research. I kind of dug in a little bit and decided to give it a shot. It was not pretty, so let me just preface that, which is why, like, a friend messaged me about it the other day. I kind of hope she watches this video. You know who you are. I don't want to embarrass you, but she said she was going to try it because really this is the most perfect time to try it if you wanted to do it, okay? It's not a quick thing. It is a process because your hair has been producing all this oil and you want it to stop. So there's a few things that you need to do it to the best ability. And let me just say this, like, not washing your hair or not using shampoo is not the same thing as not washing your hair. What we're still going to wash our hair with water and with baking soda and with apple cider vinegar, but we're just not going to like lather up and use shampoo because we're trying to keep all those chemicals out of our head and we're trying to not strip our hair, okay? So baking soda is something you need. Apple cider vinegar is something else you need. And this is a system that really, so you'll start to notice changes within 2 to 3 weeks. But really, I would say it can take up to 6 months, but I'm going to kind of tell you how to like navigate it and get around, okay? So there's different methods in going poo. And so this is one of them. The other one is to use cleansing conditioner. which I recommend doing as well, but only about halfway through the process, okay? The other thing you need is some sort of like shaky bottle that squirts, okay? I had like a restaurant squirt bottle, you know, like that they would put like barbecue, like white sauce in. I couldn't find one to show you, but those work really good too, because you're going to need something to like squirt in your hair in the shower, okay, or in the tub or wherever you do it. So basically what you want to do is take the baking soda and put it in your bottle. Let me get some here. Okay. And then you're going to add warm water to this. You can do it before you get in the shower. You can do it while you're in the shower. It doesn't matter. But just kind of make sure you have a plan in action before you get in there, or you're going to be like, oh, crap, I forgot. And then you're going to be all over the place, okay? So you're going to add warm water to this. And then you're going to put the top on it. And you're going to shake it up. So you do want to get your hair damp first, okay? When your hair is really greasy, you'll get your hair damp. And you'll have your stuff ready to go, okay? But you're gonna, after you wet your hair, make sure you get it all wrung out. And then you're gonna take this baking soda concoction and you're gonna put it all over your head. Now, it's not gonna be like shampoo. Do not expect a lather. Do not expect to like feel, I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, at first, especially since, you know, everybody's felt baking soda, right? And how kind of gritty it is. I love it. Obviously, I have like the giant box. I use this in my bathtub. I use it in my hair. I use it on my skin. I use it for all kinds of things. But so you'll take it and you'll put it all over your head and you're going to leave it. Okay. You're not just like going to put it in and rinse it out. You want to put it in and you want to leave it. So baking soda is very cleansing. It can also be a little drying. So don't do this every single day. This is like a once a week, twice a week thing, okay? So once you get your hair wet and you put the baking soda all over it, then you're going to want to, just a little bit at a time, add warm water back to your hair and scrub it back in. And so you're going to do this 3 or 4 times and you're going to let it sit on your hair. And then after about 5 minutes, rinse it out completely, okay? Like all the baking soda comes out, everything else. Then you're going to take another bottle, another squirt bottle, and you're going to have it full with apple cider vinegar. So the vinegar like rebalances the pH, and so make sure you always shake it. Also, when you buy apple cider vinegar, make sure you get one with the mother. Can you see this? It says the mother. Okay, so make sure you get one. Otherwise, it's just more like for food or flavor. But so you'll want to shake it up in its bottle, and then you're going to put it all over your hair like a conditioner, okay? And you're going to leave it on another 5 minutes before you rinse it off. Now, when you get out of the shower and you wash your hair, you're going to have to stop with all the products. You got to stop with anything that has chemicals in it during this whole process. If you're adding chemicals back in, you're gonna have to start over and over and over and over, okay? So this is a twice a week thing for the first at least 3 weeks. Prepare to rough it. I used headbands. Austin can tell you, he was like embarrassed to take me out in public. Like I can remember going to eat at Ruth's Chris and having like my hair back and like greased. It was like so greasy. It was back, and I used like headbands to like distract from it, and I just wore it like sleeked back a lot. But anyway, it just is what it is. Like it was worth it in the end. Okay, so I'm glad I did it. I'll do it. I would do it all over again. But I don't want to find myself in the same position again either. Okay, so after the first 2-3 weeks, you'll start to notice your hair start to change. Something else that you're going to need to do in between, like on the days that you're not washing your hair, is to brush your hair and your scalp all the way through to the ends. I use this like a Boars. This one's like Boars and bristles, but I use one like this. And so you'll put it all the way to your scalp because you're trying to like almost like exfoliate and pull the oil through all the way to the ends of your hair, okay? So you're gonna do that every single day, whether you've washed it or not. whether it looks greasy or not, whether you're over it or not, okay? First 2 or 3 weeks. Then you can switch over to a cleansing conditioner or a co-wash. It's used a lot in all natural hair, which I do not have, but it still works the same. The idea behind a cleansing conditioner or a co-wash is not stripping the natural oils, which is what we're trying to do, okay? We're trying to stop stripping it so our scalp is going to stop making it over and over and over, okay? So after 3 weeks, I switched over to a co-wash, a cleansing conditioner. I still do this once a week. I only wash my hair twice a week. I'll wash it completely one day, and then midweek I'll usually do a co-wash, okay? You can continue the baking soda vinegar method all the way through if you like, but what happened to me was my hair started to get really dry. Even though it had its natural oils, I found like it kind of became like staticky almost, or like a little bit brittle, or like it was about to break. So, which is why I decided to switch over to the co-wash, just because I felt like my hair needed more of that moisture that it wasn't getting, especially since my hair is processed. So you'll do the same thing again. You'll do it only twice a week, regardless of how nappy you start to feel. And then you're going to be sure and you brush in between all the way through, brushing the scalp, pulling the oils through all the way to the ends of your hair, okay? So, a couple of my tips are, even though you're not using chemicals of any kind in your hair, I did find kind of a way around it just a little bit as far as like dry shampoo went. Like for those times where you were just like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to wash my hair because we're going somewhere and I'm not going out like this, right? Because we all have those times. This is not something that I would recommend to do all the time, but especially during this process. But if it comes down to it, what you need to do is use equal parts baking soda and cornstarch, okay? And I keep mine like this, like mixed in a mason jar. It's just equal parts. And if you have darker hair, you can put a little bit of cocoa powder in this. The first time I did this, I had not started bleaching my hair again, and so I was darker. And so I had cocoa powder in it. Although I will tell you, if you start to sweat, you're going to start smelling chocolate, which is not a problem for some of us, right? But so what you'll do with this is you're going to take it and you'll put it in like a little sprinkle bottle. Like I use this one. See, it still has some of my dark color in it. Like this. And I would just sprinkle it on my roots like you would like with baby powder, or like Aveda has a sprinkle dry shampoo that's really good too. But we're not using any fragrances, anything, okay, except for cornstarch, baking soda, and maybe cocoa powder if you have dark hair, okay? So you'll do it the same as you would a dry shampoo. So you put it in and you wait. I was thinking yesterday, like maybe I need to do a dry shampoo video, but I'm assuming everybody knows how to properly use a dry shampoo, right? You can use one of these kind of little bottles too. Some people find these work better, like a little salt shaker. These are just from the Dollar Tree. And put your mixture in there and then sprinkle it all over your roots and wait, okay? You're just going to wait and you're going to give it time to absorb the oils, because if you just go in there and start rubbing it in, then you're just really defeating the whole purpose, and your hair is just going to get kind of gunky, okay? So you'll put it in and you'll wait a few minutes while you brush your teeth or whatever else. And then you're going to turn your head upside down just like you would if you were going to wash your hair. You're just going to scrub it in, okay? And it will go in and it will absorb all that oil, and then just leave it alone. If it comes to a point where you feel that your hair is changing, that's really what you're looking for, okay? My whole texture of my hair started to change, and at first I wasn't sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing, because I got, like, there was like several different stages. Like it got really dry near the ends. It got really staticky at some point. But I really just kept going, because if you break the cycle, if you just say enough is enough and you go and you shampoo your hair, you're right back where you started from, okay? So at least 2 to 3 weeks solid baking soda and vinegar. Yes, it has to be apple cider vinegar if you want the conditioner side effect on your hair, because it balances that pH. And then the cornstarch and baking soda shaker as your dry shampoo. So I used lots and lots of headbands, okay? I wore my hair back a lot. Hats are always good, right? But I think the most important one to know is, like, if you're going to church on Sunday or whatever, go ahead and break it out with the cornstarch and the baking soda kind of situation. So really keep up with that. Move through the first couple of weeks, through the next couple of months, then switch over to the co-wash. Once you've hit that 6-month mark, your hair should be completely different. The oily, greasy stage passes. It's almost like magic. Like, it's almost like it just goes away, and your hair becomes really soft. It becomes like it gets a different texture to it, and most importantly, your scalp stops overproducing all of this oil, so you're not like the grease monster anymore. So once that passes, I would say give it at least a couple of months. I went 6 months before I shampooed again, but when I did move back to shampoo, I was very careful because I didn't want to undo all my work and all that awfulness that I went through, to only use all natural products on my hair. And so I wanted to show you my favorite ones that I used, and this is from a company called Puracy. And this is their shampoo and their conditioner, and I absolutely love these. They smell good, but more than anything, like, they're gonna make your hair clean without like completely stripping it. And then again, like halfway through the week, use your co-wash. Now, I did find it helpful to get like one of these like soft shampoo brushes. And when I co-wash, to almost like massage that co-wash into my scalp and let it sit, because when I skip any kind of like brushing of my scalp or cleansing of the scalp, you can tend to see like dandruff or flakes and buildup, and we don't want any of that, because I mean, you don't want to block any of those pores, okay? So make sure you don't leave out the brushing even after, or you're going to end up right back in the same spot, because you don't want anything clogging those pores on your scalp, okay? So make sure you're brushing all the way through with like the boar's hair brushes, pulling it all the way through to your ends, and then the shampoo brush when you co-wash or whatever you decide to do, all the way through. It was a vicious cycle. Like, I'm not going to tell you that it was easy. It was really a rough 6 months, but it was worth it. Now I wash my hair once a week. That's it. And it's more, I could probably go 2 weeks, but I don't know. That just feels weird. And then I co-wash it halfway through the week, and my hair is completely normal. It's healthy. It's soft. I'm not losing chunks of hair anymore. As a matter of fact, a lot of my hair grew back in the places that it was lost. And you know, I'm not 100% sure if my hair loss was connected to the hair products I was using or my hormonal imbalance, because a lot of that was going on at the same time. But either way, like, this was one of the best things I ever did for myself. It just changes things, like not having to wash your hair every day, not having that like greasy, nasty, dirty feel all the time is just a game changer, right? Because I mean, I don't know about you, but like if I shower constantly, my skin gets like dry and red. And you got to think, like, if you're getting in the shower and washing your hair every day, the same thing is probably happening to your scalp and you know, the strands of your hair. So this was my experience with the no poo method. I really just kind of did half and half. A lot of people say only do the baking soda, apple cider vinegar. I found I had to split it up halfway through. So whatever works for you, but the main thing you need to know is be sure not to give up on it. There comes a point to where you're like, this is awful and I'm quitting, like I'm wasting my time. Don't quit. Like, just keep going. Keep your products all natural. Switch to the co-wash if you need to. It's still going to give you a lot of the same effect. It's not going to be as natural, but you're going to get a lot of the same results that you're looking for. So I hope that this helps. If you have any questions, ask me, reach out, because I'm happy to help you. I know that it can be like a really rough road, but you're not going anywhere, right? Because we're all quarantined to our house, and so we can do that for a while. Who knows how long it'll be? So maybe you can get through the baking soda vinegar state. Everybody make a huge run out to the store for baking soda and vinegar. But then just go back and be mindful of your scalp and what you're doing and what you're doing to the environment too, right? So maybe this helps, maybe it doesn't, but it worked for me, and that's all I know is my own experience. So anyway, let me know if I can help. Talk to you later.